Quiet mode. Soft mode engaged.
Story of your life.
You're funny.
Oh, gag. And then coming up on this radio station, I've installed a screen time app on my phone. So it now logs all of the time that I'm spending on my phone, which isn't too bad, apart from I went four-wheel driving on the weekend, and it's like, you've spent 6 hours on your phone. I'm like, well, yeah, because...
How? While you're driving? That's illegal.
No, but I had the map running because I'm logging points as I go through, and it's like, you've been on your phone for 6 hours. And it's got like a little timer, so even now, when we do this podcast, I'm like, great. Anyway, we should launch into this because otherwise it's going to make no sense.
Oh, it could be interesting for people.
Yeah, great. But yeah, I'm just logging loads of time that isn't time. Anyway, g'day and welcome to this podcast. This is, I don't even know how I normally intro
Camera
these.
guy Bruce.
No, I was going to say we're Cinebrah. On the podcast today, we are talking about our events.
Our events.
This is purely a promotional video.
Yeah. Should be way more fun than that last financial one. That was boring as shit.
The problem with doing these with the beer is that sometimes it gets a little too beery. Did I tell you my plan? By the way, I'm going to go off topic slightly, but this is about events, so it is actually... Okay. I'm thinking that we do podcasts whilst we're at Blaze. So we take the table, we take all the gear.
Just interview people.
Yeah, and we just have a chat.
Does that mean I've got to make a podcast booth?
A what?
A podcast.
Yeah, you need one of them spit shields, like salad bar.
A podcast.
Oh, I punched the microphone.
Podcast booth?
I don't think we've got time to build a podcast booth. I'm thinking that we just use a gazebo to shade people, because otherwise the camera's going to get blown out.
Well, we did loosely, jokingly talk about Project Box.
Yeah, but I don't think we can do that.
During the day we could.
I'm not sure. The other problem, actually, thinking about it, is if it's not sheltered, then the mic is just going to get smashed with wind, and it's going to be pointless.
Gazebo?
Yeah, that's only going to stop down, not wind that comes through.
Moving truck / kitchen?
Oh, / shower.
Ah.
You shower and I will interview you whilst you shower. Anyway, let's crack on with this.
Shower? No.
On today's podcast, we're talking about all the events. There's so many of them. It's not actually that many. But we're going to talk about events in what we're actually doing and what you can expect from Cinebrah whilst we're at Blazing Swan. But also from I guess, continuing the theme, which is the whole point of these podcasts, behind the camps, and talking about what is the reason behind doing some of this stuff, and what did we learn, because if you're coming to Blaze you might be interested, and if you're running a camp you might be interested in what we learnt, because it may affect you. I'm going to love logging in and out of my phone so I can see these events.
Just every now and again the stroke my phone.
Stroke my phone. What are you doing? Just stroking my phone. Leave me alone. Cool. So let's start with
last year.
Okay, let's start with last year. What should we talk about last year?
The events we did, what we learned from the events.
Okay, so we did have a bit of a plan before we went in, and we had some planning and we had some thought behind why we were doing things, in my opinion.
Yes.
Our general consensus was that we were running a hangover session in the morning. At around 10 o'clock.
Hangover sessions, yep.
And then we ran an afternoon / evening session.
Yep.
What were they? They were called the catch-up, I think it was, because the intention was that we were shooting and editing film on site and that people would see something daily.
It might have been called the catch-up sessions.
I'm pretty sure this is upcoming. They were the hangovers, and if my screen timer that I talked about gets the proof out of the way, they were called...
there was the first one was the classic. Was that the films and fuck ups? Was that the testing?
Films and f ups was testing.
Yeah, that was the first time we'd properly turned everything on, like set it all up, and it was like, is it going to work? Because if it doesn't, we're screwed.
And there's nothing like being in the middle of a field with a 4.5 hour drive to Perth.
Cinebrah with a closed sign outside of it. The entire festival.
We forgot a cable. Okay, I can't find that section, but that was our general principle. We were running something in the morning and something in the afternoon. We also had some special events, which included... Did you need to refresh your memory?
The first one, because that was a really good one, was premiere of Blazers, which was a doco done by 3 Curtin Uni students.
Yep.
2 of which were actually at the festival, which was awesome, because I don't think it had been screened anywhere else, had it?
No, because they submitted it to
The
film
film festival
festivals, and
circuit.
so when you do that, you generally don't circulate it anywhere else because you want it to get accepted into those things. But they very kindly said, "Yep, you can screen it." And in fact,
Michelle actually came along and got up in front of the screen, spoke about the film for a bit, hung around, watched it. Everyone loved it, and then chatted with people afterwards, and she thought it awesome.
Yep. So that was really good.
And I think we had a full showing for that as well.
I think we did as well, and we got rid of a bunch of jingle juice as well, because we did popcorn and a bit of cocktails as well. So that was pretty good. We then also had, as a special event, the Dwarvenaut. Run me through the Dwarvenaut.
That was a guy called Christian, whose surname I've forgotten.
Who? What?
No.
Wow, you are off topic. Okay, I'll bring this back. Don't worry. You sit over there and think about what you've done. So this was somebody, so Church of Belligerents contacted, so Christian from Church of Belligerents contacted Stefan Porkney is his name.
That's it, yes.
Oh, yeah, sure, you know.
I'm Facebook friends with him.
Your Facebook friends, now. I'm not. And
really?
You can't remember his name. Mate, I don't have to add everyone in the world on Facebook. Anyway, different conversation.
I only add cool people onto my friends list.
When you were going to... My friend request has been waiting 12 years. So, yeah, we had... So Christian got in contact with Stefan and actually convinced this guy, who has been to Burning Man a number of times, lives in New York, and said, you should come to Blazing Swan. And weirdly, he accepted.
He did, yes.
And he came. And so Stefan's background is Dungeons & Dragons, D&D. And
Dungeon Master,
he
builds his
Dungeon
own
Masters.
sets,
He builds his own,
he's
Yeah. What are you? Not they're not structures. That means
it's kind of like
models and
models and castle blocks and stuff you can put together and create your own.
Create your own dungeon and map and stuff.
Yeah.
So they ran. How long? So at church,
I think it was like for a day.
No, it was longer than a day. They went for like 2 days or something, running this Dungeon and Dragons
session.
game.
Yeah, it was Stefan being the dungeon master.
Yeah,
and he super gets into it. Like he had his outfit, he brought all the kit. It was
he had like spooky music for it. It was kind of cool to watch for a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a massive D&D person, so
I have not D&D when I was a kid, but similar stuff. It was quite fascinating to watch, to be honest. But basically, the Dwarvenaut was a documentary on basically him. Stefan, and all of the stuff he's gone through.
Well, it was the
points
launch
where
of
he's nearly been bankrupt, and then when he's come back.
Yeah, it was the launch of his business where basically they were following. So every time he goes to kind of run the next step of his business to get funding, which is generally done through like funding platforms, then he goes out and they followed that process, and he did again a little talk before and after. I think he'd had a few beers as well, so it was pretty chatty.
He was at the back, yeah.
We had a few people who were starstruck by him as well, so that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I actually went to a friend's house, or a party at a friend's house recently, and I was chatting to this girl, and she was like, "No, you met Stefan?" I was like, "Really?" I didn't realise he was that famous, but yeah, there was a few guys.
I think in
there.
the world he is in that world, not the world.
But yeah, again, packed showing.
Yeah, that one was definitely pretty,
which was awesome. Like good
shockers,
for our egos that people are actually coming down to see our stuff. So well, not our stuff, but what we're putting on. So,
and then the final thing that we did, which wasn't even an event, was actually the crew shutdown.
Yeah, so. Crew, obviously the entire festival working their backsides off to make sure you guys have a festival and are safe.
Us guys.
It's
all of us.
It's not just them guys as well.
Yeah, but it's all of us.
I need to remember that. I know I've got a camera here, but obviously for the people that only listen to audio, I am pointing at the camera, by the way, and doing like air quotes and
Andy
stuff.
points at the camera seductively.
Oh, you need to narrate me. That's what you should do. Whenever I do that, I want to hear that.
Andy points at the camera seductively. I need. You can get those soundboards where you just push it and it says the sound. So maybe we just
canned laughter.
Yeah, maybe we. No, we are not.
No canned laughter.
No
come
canned
on.
Laughter. Okay.
So yeah, crew obviously working their backs off the entire festival. So we thought we'd put on a special showing for them as they kicked all of the
Yeah.
punters out.
So
and the theme camps are packing down.
The general public was out,
Yeah.
and we just decided to do a bit of a private showing for those guys because they kind of miss. I mean, they are enjoying the festival and experiencing the festival, but they don't get necessarily an opportunity to come up and
Downtime.
experience our gift and what we try and give to the community.
I think we had a good showing down for that. Good bunch of them up there.
Yes, yeah, and I think it went down quite well. I mean,
Apart from the digger incident. Do you remember that?
Yes, I
You
do
weren't
remember
there.
that. I was there. I
When
just
they-
don't know if we need to talk about it.
I think it was hilarious.
They blocked someone's car in using a forklift and just like put the forks on top of someone's.
No,
it was a
no.
sidecar.
It wasn't on its roof.
Yeah, it was. They squashed it down.
No. At the time, it wasn't on its roof.
Oh,
Overnight, when we walked out in the morning,
Oh yeah.
it had lowered slowly onto the roof
Oh,
of
that's
the car.
true. Yeah, I forgot. So it was a sidecar.
remember-
It
I
wasn't someone's normal car. It was a sidecar, and they'd parked it roughly outside of where we were on Infinite Loop. Come and find us on Infinite Loop. We're there again this year. And yeah, one of the guys had just put forks near the car so it couldn't get out. I think it was.
Yeah, they basically boxed him in.
They
so he
boxed
couldn't
him
get
in.
out.
Oh, that was it. They boxed him in both ends and then left the fork. Anyway, the guys had a few beers. They went up on the rock. We woke up the next day and the forks had just like slowly
crept
lowered
down
and just like pushed the car.
But what was funny is like as soon as they moved the tractor, and he literally got in, popped the roof back up, and you couldn't
Oh
even
yeah,
see
I
it.
forgot the roof was done.
Yeah, it was just a dent in the roof, but
Yeah.
he literally punched it and it popped back out, and it was good as gold.
Yeah. Anyway, so where were we on all of that? Because now I've forgotten.
Crew showing.
Oh, cruise showing. Okay, cool. So let's talk about, I guess, what we learnt from that.
We learnt that, to be honest, most of the people that came to see us was foot traffic. To be honest, like we hung around because there's only two of us, so trying to run the camp, experience stuff, and obviously because we're filming, but obviously Bruce is doing a lot of the filming and editing. As you know, all the filming and editing.
Andy points seductively at Bruce.
Because we're trying to do all that, it's really hard to there's very little you can do sometimes.
Yeah.
So we found ourselves just chilling out of the camp, and people would walk up past, and we just say hello and what do you do? We'd have a chat to them, explain what we do. Do you want us to put something on? And they come in, sit down, watch some stuff, like 15, 20 minutes max, and then they wander off and go on their Swander.
Yep.
That worked really well. So we
Yeah.
kind of threw the Hangover movie sessions out the window pretty quickly.
Yes.
And the Arvo sessions, it just kind of,
It
if
just
we were
turned
there, we
into-
were open,
Yep.
and that seemed to work.
And I think I really enjoyed actually connecting with people who actually came up and like had a chat, and people were genuinely interested. There were some people who were interested and had watched our sort of progress
of vlogs,
through
the build vlogs,
build vlogs, and were interested to see how it had all come together and actually see it in IRL, in real life. And there were other people who obviously had no clue who we were, and just having a chat with people was actually kind of cool. And then you show them stuff, and they're like, "Wow, that's kind of cool."
We're forgetting the most important draw card we had that year.
Are we? What are we forgetting?
Goat porn.
Oh, Goat Gate.
Goat porn gate. We came out one morning and found that we had this big chalkboard out front so we could write on what we had on that day. And someone unknown at the time had written Corey Bernardi goat porn. I think it was like at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
We thought it was hilarious, so we changed it to all day showing.
Oh yeah.
And the amount of people that walked past, double take,
Or came back.
and came
Like
back,
had seen it,
yeah.
and then we're like,
Came
we
back.
came back for the goat porn.
Yeah. Are you guys playing goat porn? No, we're not. But would you like to come in and watch something? And so many people came through with that. And we've actually had requests for goat porn as well. So, watch this space.
I've just noticed that my camera is running out of batteries.
Oh, it's flashing. How much
You
have we
know
got?
what we should do is we should just sort that out and come straight back, and they'll never notice.
Well, I've
we'll
gotta
just
like
do
to
a
pause.
small cut.
I'll stay like this. I won't move. It'll blend in. Trust me.
Sure.
Minimal editing.
I'm going for batteries.
Okay. Hurry up.
And so they'll never notice that we cut.
Never notice the cut.
Notice that they'll cut in the middle
No,
of that because
no,
we
not
run
at
out
all.
of batteries because we're professionals. Can you remember what we were talking about?
That meets the kitten requirement, by the way. We had a request for cats.
Oh Jesus! And he points
say.
seductively at his cat. Okay. So yeah, we were talking about people coming in late.
For the goat porn.
For Goat porn. That's what we were talking about.
Yes.
Anyway, so are we doing goat porn? Oh, stay tuned. We're doing maybe do goat porn this year.
I can do the goat porn video.
Oh, jeez.
It'll be Andy's first film.
That is... What,
No,
are you
Andy's
filming
second
it,
film.
or are you
Andy's second
starring in it? I don't know if I want to know what you're doing, and where do
I've told you what my idea of goat porn is,
where are we...
and you thought it wasn't funny.
Yeah, but where are we getting the goat from?
Goats.
Oh, you want multiple? Jesus. If you are a goat owner and you're willing to sign a consent form. Anyway, right, let's get this back on topic. Does that wrap up last year?
Yes.
I think it does. Let's talk about this year and what we're doing. So, I guess the synopsis is that... I can't get to the thing that I want to see. There we go. The first thing is that we're running, from a session perspective, very similar.
Yeah.
So if people rock up and we will have
And
stuff
we're
to show. Oh yeah, that's probably the best sentence. Not if
We
we've
will
got
have
something
some
to
stuff.
show.
We'll have stuff to show, and more importantly, we've actually got more people in the camp, so we won't have to stay there the whole time to be open. Like we can
you
have
stop
a
stroking your phone seductively, please. It's word of the day.
Seductively.
Word of the episode.
so we can actually be open a lot more frequently.
Yeah.
And to be honest, us opening is really just like meeting people, hug if necessary, chat.
Hug if necessary.
Yeah. No, everyone likes hugging.
That's very true.
Consent.
Must
Must consent to the hug.
Must consent. Do
If you go to hug and they go, then don't hug them.
Okay.
But
Remember that.
yeah, it's very important. But yeah, we'll be able to just have a couple of people there that can just chat to people and obviously put stuff on in the cinema. It's fairly easy to run, to be honest.
No, it's very technical. Do not start your own competing cinema. We're very difficult.
It's very easy if you spent time and energy setting it up, so it's easy.
Yeah, that's true. Although we do have some technophobes in the group, so it'll be interesting to see how much they panic when people ask. But
It's bad night. Play. Press play.
The other advantage that we do have is that we have videos, films, documentaries from last year. So if this is your first Blaze or you missed us last year, then please feel free to jump up and come see us, because that actually segues. Oh, look, I should be a professional.
Segue.
Yeah.
Bruce seductively segues into the next point.
You can't do that. That does roll quite nicely into one of our first events is entitled The Catch Up. And the entire purpose is for you, if you haven't been to Blaze or you missed stuff last year or you want to see it again, come and see what we shot last year at 2018 Blazing Swan.
Yep.
That's what the entire session will be dedicated to. And that will be on... I'm going to have to work out the dates. Is the 18th a Thursday? Is that right?
Yes, Thursday.
So that's Thursday at 4 o'clock. That's event
one.
Event one. The words are starting to leave
blend
my brain.
together.
Yeah, it's starting to blend together. What are we doing Friday and Saturday?
So yes,
You know more about this than I do.
Only from what she's told me, to be honest. So basically, I came across a particular post on the community page about a lovely lady called Cara who runs. I think it's a tent. I think that they've been at Blaze before plenty of times. I think, but
I think so.
Called Baba Yaga's Dream Yurt. I'm not going to try and describe it because
That's not going to tempt people in if you don't give them something.
I've been describing it as kind of art therapy, but I suppose I can read the blurbs that she sent through.
Don't just read the blurb. Give me your
No,
interpretation.
because she wrote this herself. It's very important. Explore the world of the subconscious at Baba Yaga's Dream Yurt. Come at any time during the session. You will be invited to think about a resonant moment. We will gift you with a creative response. Stay for 10 minutes, 3 hours, forever. Go through the woods until you find the Yaga's hut and ask her to give you her fire. I need to learn how to speak properly.
Yeah. And they're also not staying for 3 hours because the event's only
we've only got 2 hours. So. But they're not attending as a camp this year, but they were asking if there was anyone could help them with a venue.
Yep.
So they could do some of their sessions. My understanding is it's kind of an art therapy kind of experience.
I'm curious as to what that is going to be like.
It sounds really cool, but they're involved with it in something else as well, and there's a film element to it. So we've actually got a film, only short film, 3.5, 4 minutes, I think it is.
Have we? This is news to me.
It was in the messaging group because I asked for permission if we could screen this one.
I didn't check that part. I can't be across everything. That's why we.
So we will
have
be screening a little something from them as well. But they're going to be doing 2-hour sessions on Friday morning from 10 till 12 and Saturday morning 10 till 12. So I think that'll be a really interesting use of the structure, and it'll also mean we can. Well, I think we should probably have a go and see what it's like.
I'm definitely down.
And then we can go and explore, do some filming. It kind of frees up a bit of time for ourselves as well. So that should be pretty cool.
Yep. When is Ask a Drunk Scientist happening? Because I don't
Monday.
have that on my list.
Monday.
That's Monday, is it?
So it's Monday at 1 o'clock.
What date is that? You can't do it. This is the problem with Facebook. It tells you.
I think it's the 22nd.
Is that the 22nd?
Yeah,
Okay, we'll jump. I've jumped ahead there. So on the 21st, which is the Sunday.
Yeah.
So Sunday is Temple Burn Day, and this links into will be basically. It's kind of a combination, but it links into because it's not quite a combination. I'll explain why. It's not a combination.
Okay.
So. Something else that we are working on is a documentary following the build process of the temple, and we talked about this in one of the other episodes. So if you haven't seen that, I believe it's the camp update one that was probably episode 1, I think, of this little series. So we're following the temple, its design, its build, its eventual end, and what we will hopefully be doing, bearing in mind it's not been finished, shot, edited or anything like that, is screening that as a documentary film on the Sunday at 4 o'clock. So our intention is that you can watch that and then walk out, have a bit of a chill down, and then go out and watch the end of the temple.
Well, hopefully, if it fits that way, our structure will be pointing at the temple.
That's true.
So you'll literally walk out of our structure, see the temple in front of you, and unless you've got to go back and change and get beers and whatnot, walk straight to the temple and then watch it burn.
Yep. And that's why I say it won't be the culmination.
Because the culmination is the
burning
of the temple.
Burning.
Yeah.
And then probably do a few more interviews. But it will be hopefully a roughly finished piece. That said, we're having a few technical difficulties of schedules and all that sort of stuff. And in fact, at this rate, I won't have been the principal.
How much footage have you shot?
Well, it's not me who's shooting. Very kindly, the guys at the temple have shot a lot of stuff, although I'm yet to see any of it.
Have you done interviews yet?
Huh?
Have you done interviews?
No, we still need to shoot interviews. There's a fair bit to do on this project.
You might want to do that before he goes down on site.
Yeah, that is... Really?
I know, right?
I know. You're
good luck trying to get Skype from Cooling.
So I think for us, or certainly for me, that will be a pinnacle thing, because it's actually something that we're doing, we're producing, and we're showing. And hopefully it will be the culmination of a fair bit of work. So that is on the Sunday at 4 o'clock. On the Monday 22nd. What time is... So we are now talking about Ask a Drunk Scientist.
Ask a Drunk Scientist, yes.
What time is that?
As far as I can remember, it is 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to explain the premise of... Do you really need to?
Have you ever wanted to ask a scientist very important life questions whilst drunk?
No, they're drunk. You can be drunk.
You can be drunk as well, but they will be drunk.
They will be.
And when they answer questions, they have to have another drink, as far as I understand it, from what Nina described.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
So bring drinks to get them drunker.
I think we should nominate one scientist.
And you will therefore get more sensible responses.
Ask all the questions to.
Pick on one scientist.
I might get you to back off that mic slightly.
Too close, too far away.
I know.
Win, man.
I know, but I'm getting a slight bit of blowout. So, but yeah, I reckon you just pick one scientist and then everyone asks them a question, because if they've got to keep drinking, that is a recipe for disaster. Also, I think maybe pick Scientology or something controversial to just keep asking. Especially Nina, she loves a good controversial question. Are you looking for something specific?
I'm
on your
looking.
phone?
Oh, there is. I'm not because there's a list of scientists that are in here.
Oh, there's like hundreds of them at
Yeah.
the moment. Now, whether all of them turn up is a completely different question.
We've got an astrophysicist, sedimentological
Man, you were going to struggle with
stratigrapher,
that list.
a vertebrate paleontologist, and she's written yes, like Ross on fucking Friends.
Oh, wow.
A mathematician, physician, environmental scientist, physicist, biochemist, geologist, sexologist, and molecular biologist. So, if you ever wanted to ask any of those important life questions that you just always want to know, now is the time to do it.
Well, not right now, but come along to Blaze.
The event is up. The event is up. Basically, it's on the Blazing Swan events. It's put up by Campshare Gift.
I'm sure by the
We're just
time this
hosting
video
it.
goes live, all of the events will be up.
Yes.
And therefore you can sign up on Facebook and, get it locked into your calendars and all that sort of stuff.
I think they're putting requests out for questions in advance as
Oh,
well.
really?
Yeah, just to kind of...
That doesn't seem like there's, if you're a knowledgeable scientist, you shouldn't need preparation. You should just be able to answer. If
Well, to be
someone
honest,
was to
if
ask me about cameras, I wouldn't be like, I need your questions in advance.
Oh, no, it'd be good, because if we get in any advance warning about questions, we could put images up on the screen behind them and stuff. But to be honest, I'm a bit worried how many people to fit in our cinema at the moment.
Yes.
Should be interesting.
I
Although
think they've got a backup, though. They're looking at either Dream Gallery or God Said No, I think.
Yeah.
As backups.
Yeah.
So,
Should be
okay,
fine.
we've plugged
Work
that
it
one
out.
enough. Let's move on. Our final event for the public is on the 22nd, which is what day? Is that? That's the Sunday. That's still the Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
But it's in the afternoon. It's at 4:30, and that is the last chance catch up. So if you have disappeared around Blaze, you've not come and seen us, that is the last chance for you to come along, see what we've shot for that year, 2019, before we package it all up and put it in our little Cinebrah vault, and you won't be able to watch it.
Immediacy.
We don't typically circulate the films that we've shot at Blaze outside of Blaze. We can probably talk about that as a completely whole, separate, different vlog.
Well, that's a whole video on its own, consent and immediacy and
and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, and we'll happily talk about that. But I guess for background, we don't typically circulate stuff. We're very much of the belief that if you want to come and see stuff, then you come and see stuff. We don't need to build a cinema. I guess this is a synopsis of the reasons. But we don't have to have a cinema if we were just going to shoot film and put it out later. So we're trying to take or fall in line with the principles and encourage people to come and see us, to watch what has been created during that time period, because it just won't go live afterwards, unless we put it live. If you are watching and you are a crew member, we are doing another crew catch-up that is on... I've lost track of the days again. Is that
Tuesday?
Tuesday?
It'd be late Tuesday either, by the time they kind of started to move people out.
So that's late Tuesday if you are a crew member, and we will, again, exactly the same as last year, we will show everything that we've shot, and you can do a quick catch-up.
We'll put on popcorn.
Or put on popcorn and maybe any
dispose
booze.
of any leftover booze.
Oh, get rid of the shitty booze that we don't want to drink. And that is all of our events. Actually, we do have one more to talk about. Brafest.
It was such a good idea.
It is still a good idea.
I know. I think
happen.
Maybe we can just kind of run it a little longer period for next year. Sign. It's still a winner.
Let's back up. Brafest was supposed to be our film festival. So the idea was that people would create their own films, be it on Burning Man, Blazing Swan, or surrounding that sort of sphere. Ooh, that's a good word. Sphere. And we would hold
Bruce
like
seductively says sphere.
You don't need to narrate when you're talking. Oh dear, you just get sacked. This is why you're the second person on the podcast. You are number 2.
What? Because I haven't got headphones on.
I have to monitor whether you're on or off your mic. He said, just blowing his mic. It does make me. It always makes me more important. So Brafest was supposed to be a film festival. We did put a call out. We haven't really had any sort of interest. That said, we
did have the Slovak Film Festival contact us.
That's very different. And we're very happy to receive the Slovak Film Festival, but kind of different to what we were looking for. So I think we did talk about it, and we kind of admit that we haven't really pushed it, so we'll probably push it a bit
Yeah.
more, but that may or may not happen depending on whether we receive any sort of nominations.
Which is
Or not nominations, like people stepping forward and saying, I've got something that I want to show at your cinema, and other people.
And I
may-
think the idea came about because, like, after the last festival, there were plenty of people putting videos out. You know,
It wasn't just that; it was people were actually rocking up to us and saying like, "Oh, hey, I'm shooting this or I'm shooting that," and other people who were interested in film and shooting film were doing their own projects, and we thought, well, this would be a great way to, to kind of not just be like, well, this is our stuff and everyone else can piss off, because we don't want to like try and engage the community and build something there.
Maybe we can spruik it more by when we've seen these videos go out, we just directly contact people and say, look, we're doing this for next year. You want to put stuff in, and build it up that way.
I'm glad we've ended on Brafest, the kind of the bum note of the lot.
The bum note. We haven't talked about our general openings. If you want to end on a higher note,
Yeah, we have.
Not really. No, we've been talking about events.
No, we started up like, remember how we flipped over from 2018, and then I said we're doing.
But this year, the general events.
Okay, tell me about the general events, and we'll see whether it's a repeat.
If we're open, we will put something on.
Wow, I didn't say that earlier.
It's more of a high note than Brafest, so you got to admit.
All right, summary. Yeah, okay. That's probably the better way. Just in summary, we have a whole bunch of events. Actually, that's probably is a good thing. So if you are interested in what we're talking about, and the events that we're running at Blazing Swan this year, 2019, then we'll have basically everything lined up on Facebook. Feel free to join those things, put them in your calendar, whatever you want to do. However, that said, there are only, I think it's like 3 or 4 events that we're running at the moment. And if you are, interested in what we're doing anyway, just rock up.
Yeah, come up, say hello.
Come up,
have a chat.
There's likely, because we've expanded the camp this year, there's likely to be someone there who will happily put on either something that we've shot or other stuff. We do show other stuff as well. We do show, we've got animations.
Really the Burner Kids I kind of enjoyed last year.
That was a good little documentary. We find stuff around, like, we basically, I use the internet to find the find the films. Wait, that sounds real dodgy. I find internet fun. We're back to goat porn. Yeah. But no, we do try and find stuff that's short films. We're not talking about. We don't typically play any sort of like trippy stuff. We don't tend to play any like feature length films.
No.
These are typically short pieces. So you'll come in, you'll sit down for like 20-30 minutes. Feel free to chat. Some of the best chats I had were while stuff was going on. And I think, like, personally, I think that's one of the things that's missing. Like, Cinebrah has, like, we get these bigger and wider seats and you don't talk to anyone anymore. Yeah. Or if you do, then you get something, "Oi, shut up, I'm trying to watch the film," or someone throws something at you, which is fine. That's what the media is now. But I think one of the positives that we have as a community and what we're trying to build is a place that you can sit down and hopefully watch something that does inspire and like, ping some thoughts around in your brain, and then you have a conversation on them. Mm-hmm. And maybe the conversation is whilst you're in there with us or on your own, or maybe it's afterwards. And I think that's a real positive thing that we're trying to build for the community.
And the other thing we can do as well, if you have your own films and you want to sit down with your loved one at night when we're probably just hanging around having a few beers, we can put stuff on for you. Yeah. We had the guys from Wyvernia put on...
They did. They had 2001 Space Odyssey because it was their... I can't remember, 25th
The monolith.
year?
Yeah, the monolith. They had their monolith art piece up.
Yeah, but they actually showed it on a specific day because it was I think it was the 25th or 30th.
So they played that.
1975.
And then there was a group of guys, and I can't remember who they were, but they came up and they put on this super weird, trippy...
You stayed for that? I wasn't there.
...film. I stuck my head in a few times and I stepped out because my brain couldn't work out what was on the screen. But they were loving it. There was about 4 or 5 of them just having a few beers because we were pretty quiet. So we can do that as well.
Yeah, so feel free, come and have a chat, and we'll happily, just chuck on something that you've bought as well. Like, more than happy to do that. However, if you do bring a repeat of Little Mermaid for 6 hours, I will probably throttle you. So, Yasmin, if you're watching, we don't...
calling Yaz out on the Little Mermaid.
Actually, Ariel is hot. She is a ginger. So, it's more the fact that it's 6 hours. Like, no one needs to... I mean, Space Odyssey was pretty long as well.
Yeah, that was super epic.
Those boys tried to time it with the sundown, and they were way late.
off.
But they did manage to miss a rainstorm from it, so they were pretty happy about that.
That wasn't a storm.
I think that was pretty. Well, it was okay. It was like it only rained once.
I'm pretty sure I wandered off around the site, came back, and the film was still going.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anyway, we should probably wrap that up. But yeah, this episode has been all about shameless promo really,
and seductively pointing at things.
Yeah, okay, we're seductively pointing at shameless promo. But yeah, if you have enjoyed the episode, that's fantastic. We welcome any feedback and all that sort of stuff. If you're watching this in a random place, you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We're still not on LinkedIn, maybe Pinterest next week. So stay tuned to those platforms.
Pinterest. Oh, that's a new one. Oh, let's do that.
It's quite a large social platform. It's bigger than Twitter in Australia.
Really?
Yeah, honestly.
Oh, sweet.
I was doing some
Pinterest
statistics
account
on
coming
it.
soon.
Yeah. I don't know what we'll put on. Anyway, I want to, as ever, thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Behind the Swan. I think that's the first time I've ever said that in one of the episodes.
That is. Is that what we're calling the whole series?
This is what the actual podcast is called, Behind the Swan.
Oh, yeah, so it is.
Yeah.
How much I know.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. And that about wraps it up.
Yep. Sign off time.
Easy. Cinebrah!
You know, randomly when you said
definitely
fantastic, you know the word that popped into my head?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
When did I say fantastic?
You said fantastic. The one word that popped into my head. Fandabby-dozy.
Fandabby-dozy.
I don't know where that came
There's
from.
only a couple of English people who will ever get that reference.
Fandabby-dozy.
Fandabby-dozy. I can't remember. There was this is going to be... I don't even know. I can't even explain it now. I had a reference in my head like during the week and I was like, no one understands what Mind you, I was talking to you last night about that. Hey, you, get into my car. Get out of my dreams, get into my car. It's like, yeah.
I started humming the tune in the head.
We need like some funny outtake for this sort of video. Do you have anything? Did you prepare the funny outtake segment on your...
Just realised I've got to work tomorrow and I'm slightly drunk.
Yeah, I've got a...
On a Monday.
I've got a train.
Woohoo!
I've got...
Goals.
Wait, this isn't filmed on a Monday. This is filmed...
This is Friday.
This was filmed...
Does it sound cooler if it's on a Friday?
No.
Saturday?
No, it's just...
Sunday.
It was filmed on the day
Rebels.
after you were watching this.
Oh, so it's like live.
It's live.
Andy does air quotes. Live.
If you're still watching it, listening at this point, listening, I don't know. So, bearing in mind we've recorded these back to back.
Yep.
And we're just drinking
we
like
haven't.
one
No.
per. Oh, sorry, we have. Bearing in mind we haven't
recorded back to back, and it was seamless editing when the battery ran out on the camera.
Yeah, bearing in mind we haven't recorded these back to back, and bearing in mind we haven't had back to back drinks. How many back to back, non back to back episodes can we do before you're just like, what the? And just die.
Episode 6.
Episode 6.
Oh no!
It's like episode 6.
I can't see the camera.
Welcome to the podcast.
Andy, stop chewing the mic.
Yeah. You know what I really enjoy? Kebabs. Can we go get chicken nuggets? Where's the Uber driver?
Oh, I'm hungry now.
No, you're not. Never mind. So there's no funny bits for this end of this episode.
That was the funny bit, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I can turn my phone back on now without it buzzing. But you know what the problem is? That the phone's sitting on the table. Every time you like unlock it, it's like...
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, really?
Nope.
I did.
Didn't.
I did. Never mind. Should probably end the episode there because I'm pretty much out of beer.